Damn, Q. Baby, you did that.
Hey you guys, welcome to episode 4 of Purple Lotus Flower. I have Dshawnda Lewis here today, one of my very, very first best friends. Oh my God, I haven't seen her since we was 16?
Correct. 16.
All right, now I was pregnant last time I saw her, so you see where we at now. We 38. We grown in the flesh, so she is here. You was in North Carolina. How long?
Since I was 17 years old. I just moved back January of this year.
Okay, she came back for me, y'all.
All day.
She knew she was gonna have to come on here and do some talking. You already know. So, what you been up to? What's going on? I seen you told me about your body cavitation and everything you was doing down there. You have a business, so tell us, please.
How I ran upon it was I was struggling with my weight back and forth. I had a set of twin girls, and I gained over 100 pounds.
Ooh, okay.
I say roughly 150. So I was just struggling with it. So I was like a stress eater. So I used to just eat, and it wouldn't go anywhere.
Okay.
So one of my friends was like, "Have you ever tried this?" And I went. It was contouring, body contouring. Okay. So it's called lipocavitation. So I got it done, and I was like, why they keep on charging me all this money? And I could do this myself. So how I came upon it was COVID hit. Okay. And with COVID hitting, it caused me to not be able to work because daycare was closed. So I didn't have nowhere for my kids to go. So I was just reading a book, and it was just saying, what is your purpose? And it's saying you have to do something that you like. And I am big on how I look. So not saying that I'm, vain or anything, but I'm big on presentation, how you look, and I love spandex. So spandex don't go good with a robe. Okay. So I had rolls, and I'm trying to cover up with a blazer, as I got on right now. Okay. And I just was like, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it. So
of course.
I stepped out on faith. I took my savings, took a class. And on top of it, bought the machine, bought the table, and I just was like, you know what, I'm about to do it. Okay. So I started getting friends doing it, buy one, get one half off. They start coming. Then they like, oh my God, you know what you're doing. Because most of the time when you go, they be like, oh, don't do so much, then people won't come back. I'm all
wow.
I ain't playing with nobody money. So my thing is, I want you to show that I can do the job. So I give you the full work. I do the wood therapy along with all that. I give all of it because I want you to feel great and be great. So it's also a way to talk. I be talking, we have conversations, and I get to know why did you gain the weight. So mine was I eat a lot of sweets at night because I don't sleep that much. So I be like, oh, I'm getting a bag of chips, eating the kids' chips, eating the cookies. And it's not that I didn't eat a lot, it just I was eating the wrong things at the wrong time. So that makes your stomach hard. And with your stomach being hard, how can you lose weight? Because it's just sitting there. So you're full of bowel movement. You got to use the bathroom. So I get to know you. So I give you a survey to get to know what your body do and react. And then I also find out is I can't really eat meat. So a lot of it was I didn't supposed to eat meat because I really couldn't lose the weight because I was eating pork and beef. And when I cut out pork and beef, I said, oh, shoot, there she go. Shot the boo back. So it's all about, it's not just losing the weight, but it's getting a mindset of knowing what you're putting in your body on top of losing weight. So
you
sometimes,
are what you eat, as they
say. Sometimes you can't exercise. I had people come to me that couldn't exercise. They had an accident. And it was a male. And he was so, he dang near cried because he said he couldn't believe how this worked because he was embarrassed of his weight. But he couldn't exercise because his back was out. I cavitated him twice, and he was like, this is how I looked in high school. I was like, so that's all it takes. It's just building your confidence up. And if you have a real, and you don't have to get surgery. So a lot of times when people do the cavitation, it's these post-ops, people that do get the surgeries. They have to keep it up for 2 years or however long you want to. They have to come see me anyway. So it's
so
been
after lipo?
Yes.
Oh, dang.
They have to come see me because everybody think that, their body, it takes a year for their body to heal. Then on top of it, the way they want it, they get cavitated to get that perfect curve, do the waist trainer. That's what I do.
Wow. Okay.
And I also make oils. So while you sleep at night, it's not a burning sensation, but it's working.
Okay.
Kind of like a vapor rub. It's not vapor rub inside of. It's all natural oils, but it gets the body working while you sleep. So
now, how many times a day? So they just put it on at nighttime
just
with
at night,
a belt,
and I wrap your stomach. I give you, you could purchase a wrap. So it's wrap that you do with the cream, and then go to sleep.
Okay. And most of those women that you were really like talking to, did you see a lot of them had like self-esteem, a lot like big self-esteem issues? Was it men? Was it kids? Was it just different things?
Above. It was all of the above. A lot of times when you get older, after 25, it start to stick. Because I was like, oh, I'm about to eat everything. But after 25, it stick. Or if you have kids, it stick. So what I learned from that is just getting to know yourself. So that's another thing is we'll hide it. Because everybody hiding. Like, let me just go put a shaper on. Don't hide it.
Yep.
Embrace it. So I had women that were pretty healthy. I'm not going to say fat, because people use fat. Like, that's not fat. That was healthy than some of the other girls. So the young girls was coming to me, just want to get in a dress. Okay, for the day. But I had
to work for that for one day.
It takes 2 to 3 inches off of you over one session.
Oh wow.
So I had a lady that was coming every week, twice, because you only could do it twice a week. Because you don't want to do too much to your body. And she was coming to me a whole lot, and she lost inches. Then she started losing the weight, and then her mindset came along, and guess what she did? She started eating correctly. So then she started losing more weight. So it was not just, because sometimes you need a little push. Yeah. When you see it, you're like, oh, I'm about to do it. You know what I'm trying to say? But when you don't see it, you don't do it. You don't do it. So you ain't gonna want to waste your money. You ain't gonna want to pick out at the barbecue. You're gonna be like, you know what? Let me go get a salad, because I might do my, I want this. I want my, my waist to stay down and my stomach. That makes
sense. That's good. You made some people happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's up. So how long did it take you, like, to do the classes for that? Like, how long was the program?
Oh, it's only a few weeks. Okay. A few weeks. I had a great trainer in North Carolina. Her name was Danny, and she was amazing. Okay. She was more like me. We're not in it for the money. We in it for the person and what the purpose is. Yeah, so a lot of times people just do stuff for a quick dollar, but we getting to know what the person body is about, and getting to know it, and get to know who they are, and then they find out who they are in another aspect.
That is very interesting. So doing that and having 2 kids, she has twins, you guys.
Right.
2 twin girls, beautiful. Olivia and
Gabrielle,
the one.
She the one.
That's the one.
So
I hear her name the most.
It's reflection of me. So of course, a person that's a reflection of you is more challenging, because you are like, I thought I conquered that, but then here she coming back around. No, you didn't.
Oh yeah.
So she's a challenge, but she's amazing though.
Okay. And what grade are they in now?
4th grade.
Okay. So moving from North Carolina, coming home. Now that was a big old change. How you feel though? Like, do you feel comfortable now, or what? Because you've been gone for a minute. I had a hard
time with it. So I moved here because of my daughter Olivia. She's autistic. I came down here to visit a year ago, and everybody was like, "Oh, we have so many programs down here," and I'm like, "Detroit ain't got nothing." But then y'all do. I did some digging into it. Y'all are wonderful in that area. So a lot of people don't know that, because I'd be like, I had to wait years to get her in programs, and as soon as I got here at the end of January, they took her right on in. Like, it was no problem. So Michigan, I'm thankful for that, because they feel like no kid should be left behind, and they are different. They not, to me, they unique. So we got to learn them, because they are carefree. They don't worry about what nobody think about them. They don't care about nothing. I wish I could do that. Normally, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't I ain't about to curl my hair. I ain't about to do all this. Olivia don't care. And I love that about her. And you know how you want to be accepted in life? She a loner. So to a certain degree, people like, oh, that's bad. No, it's not. She come around when she wants to come around. So she's teaching me something. You ain't always got to be around nobody. Me and Gabby always want to be around somebody. We like, hey, girl, where we going? Olivia like, no, let's just stay at home. So
she okay with being alone.
They both balance me. So and with that, with Detroit, sometimes you don't want to face something. And everybody see me as Dshawnda Boo. The one that like to party, the one that's always outgoing, and they don't see the woman. that I've become and how I evolved. And I still get comments, oh, I remember you used to be like that. And I'm like, yeah, I did. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't even get mad no more. Yeah. But, you know, sometimes you be like, dang, you don't see what else. Like, I got my master's in human resource management. I have had very, very good corporate jobs. I done climbed the ladder. I have done all these great things, but people only see what they want to see. Or they be all like, oh, you got twin girls? You ain't married? Oh, snap. We going there? Not nothing else. Not nothing what you become or who you are and how you overcame, how I left Detroit and made something of myself doing my thing in North Carolina, but all they see is I got kids and I ain't got no husband. So, you know, you got to hear that. But then it comes in a life when you say, I don't care what nobody say. I be all like, yeah, I got twins. So, no, I ain't got no husband.
And it's your time to elaborate on that and why. And say, this is the space that I'm in right now. You peaceful. You know what I'm saying? You didn't harmonize everything you hear now. So now you got to serve your purpose now.
Exactly. So, and it's, and you know what? It's kind of hard because another thing that it kind of hurt is I'm free. I broke the curse. And when you see people that you love not free, that do something to you. And then by me being a helper, I'm a helper. That's naturally who I am. I don't mind giving the shirt off my back to a stranger. So I want to help you, but sometimes you can't help people. So now I be all like, oh, okay, that's going on. Oh man. To God be the glory, because he is, you know, he gonna help you out anyway. But I have learned to stop. And is this going to help me? Meaning, like, is this going to bring another burden? Because I already have a lot on my plate. And you have to be careful about who's around you because they're there just to use you. So for many years when I was in North Carolina, because I was the go-to person, because I didn't know how to say no
to nobody.
So I was, hey, I don't mind help you with this. Oh, you want me to babysit your kids, this and that? I'm like, oh, that's fine. I had twins. I ain't seen nobody. I ain't heard nothing from nobody. So I developed an anger, like, you know what? That is crazy. I would have thought they would have did the same for me. So, but guess what? In life, you cannot hold people to expectations. And I learned that. When you have expectations of people, guess what? You always going to be hurt and come up short. So I did it because that's who I am. But just because that's who I am don't mean that everybody around me is going to be that way. But guess what? My circle around me is that way.
That's because, well, you got to understand now, since that you did a mind change and everything is different, your heart different, you know, everything that you do, you're going to attract the right people to you now. That's all that is. So now your circle is going to change. Simply because you change. And I tell people that once you change, everything around you going to just fall in line. So you don't have to worry about where is my husband going to come from? Where is my other best friend going to come from? Where is my good business partner going to come from? Because higher power going to make that happen as long as you stay in the line, doing what you're doing, focusing on yourself, operating from the heart, like I always say, showing gratitude. Your intentions are good. You know what I'm saying? Every time you touch down, everything is good. So everything around you going to flow like a butterfly.
Exactly.
Always.
And I learned something
called I'm here.
Exactly. I couldn't wait. But another thing I learned was boundaries.
Of course.
I didn't have no boundaries. And it's not even, I didn't know what that word was. You know, everybody knew not to mess with me, but I still say but I didn't have no boundaries.
You didn't settle.
So, I mean, the devil always going to work. So he's gonna throw a curveball in here somewhere. I don't know when he's gonna throw it, but I'm ready. Like, what's up? I'm in Detroit. Let's get it. You know what I'm trying to say? But it could be. Guess what? I'm still looking for work. And for me to say that's big for me because I'm all private. I'm all like, I ain't telling nobody I ain't got no job. But guess what? I do have a job. Let me tell you why I got a job. You know what? Because this capitation about to pick up. See, I'm gonna bless you. You know, even before this us sitting down here, it was coming anyway. It's working. So I was all like, you know, I'm not gonna just sit around and not do nothing. So, you know, if I gotta Uber it, we could Uber it for a little while because I've been working since I was 14. It's okay. I am not prideful anymore because guess what? My kids is taken care of in so many ways. When I had all the money, guess what? I was so not happy.
Yeah. It was
And that's
miserable.
how I end up having broken relationship because I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So the money and the cars and being able to travel, it was a good thing, but it wasn't nothing because guess what? I still was lonely and hurt inside.
Yep.
So I am more rich now than I ever been in my life.
I just talked to somebody else about that the other day. It's funny you said that because you said the same thing, chasing money. When you chase the money, you know, it's more of a miserable situation that you encounter because now you're stuck on a physical form of stuff. You worried about your clothes, your shoes, materialistic things and all of that when you can be full of abundance and prosperity on your own by speaking it. You know,
Right.
you can create that your own self. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And that money is going to fall. Like I say every day, I'm a billionaire. I'm waiting on the check to catch up to me
Exactly.
and it's going to hit my account.
Right.
So, and I mean that.
Right. No.
So, and that's what you
walking in
mean
it.
when you said that. Yeah.
So
walking in
the
your
whole
truth.
key thing is just being happy within. So I'm
Yeah.
happy, and me and the kids don't go without. We fine, and I'm hustling a different way. But guess what? I like that Detroit. Bring it on.
Yeah,
You making me
let's go.
hungry again. North Carolina had me comfortable. Now
Okay.
you making me hungry again.
Yeah.
So let me get hungry. I'm here for it. So
Yeah,
I'm
step
here
out.
for it. But this capitation gonna break out, and if somebody want to hire me, let's get it too. I love HR. I love helping people. So God used me in HR field because it's like a counseling. When you go to HR,
Yeah.
it ain't always about money. So
Yeah.
behind them closed doors, guess what? When somebody come to me, I notice because
Yeah.
I've been in an abusive relationship. So I noticed, like, oh, you okay? And I
Yeah.
wouldn't guess what I would do? Give her a card.
Okay.
And then she come in like, oh, what's going on with the attitude? I'm like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I mean, I just thought you needed it. I mean, somebody told you something. I said, I was just
I'm just
saying,
offering it to
yeah.
you.
So,
Yeah.
sometimes it brings people in and God came through me that way. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say? So everything
definitely.
that is going on in my life, first I give it to God. You know what I'm trying to say? Acknowledge Him because without Him, where would we be? So,
And to elaborate a little bit on the domestic violence, like how did you, like when did it start and like how did you have to like smoothing that out to deal with that?
So I say the reason that most women stay in it so long because they embarrassed.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I'm
haven't
gonna
heard
say
that
that. Why are you embarrassed? Because how can I tell my mom, my dad that this man down here tearing me up, beat my tail?
one. Yeah.
And then not Dshawnda, not the one that fight anybody in a second or do
Yeah.
anything to, because I'm a firecracker. Not that person. It was more so I was afraid because I had reached a such high level in
Okay.
respect because I was the wild one. Then everybody
Yeah.
started saying like, oh man, she's really getting it out here.
Yeah.
How can you talk about somebody touching you that way? You know? And I was
Your
embarrassed.
family had you on that
Yeah,
pedestal.
they had me on that
too.
pedestal. Yeah, so
you had
it's
to
like
keep that up.
Yeah, so I was embarrassed. Like I can't tell nobody to do that. And then on the other hand is if I really told, I don't know, my dad would got in trouble. So why would I want him to get in
Pops or
trouble?
something else.
That was one thing. And then the other thing was I still wanted that love that I thought was love.
Yeah, we thought it was.
And that was another thing is guess what? I didn't love myself. I just stayed in the situation because it was comfortable for me.
It was comfortable, yeah.
Sometimes everybody think it's hard staying in it. It's hard leaving.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
The
that's
leaving
the hard
part is like, man, I invested all this time. It's like my investment went down the drain. Like if you got a rental property and you put this in, then you lose it. You be mad. So
Yep.
it's like I invested in him. I got him wearing polo. He wasn't wearing that. Okay, I got him wearing a suit. Oh my goodness, are you serious? And it's an investment because anybody that's a reflection of you, if you're in a relationship, you want them to be, y'all have some type of characteristic. Y'all represent each other.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up people because I was in the hood and I was that girl. I done a lot of stuff. And it was like, if I could change, he could change. So I was always like, I can help him.
Yeah.
And the whole time
Not
he
no
was,
more.
but guess what? He was helping me though.
Yeah,
Let
he
me tell you
was.
why. He was
was.
birthing something out of me that I didn't know was there.
Oh, yeah.
So I appreciate him
Oh,
all
yeah, for
day.
sure.
Shout out. I'm not going to say no names, but shout out because you got to
Yeah.
realize something. We needed each other in so many ways because guess what? That's how I became free. Now,
Yeah.
where he at in his journey, I can't tell you.
Right.
But, Dshawnda made a snap on him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
For sure.
And he made a snap on me. Okay?
So it was time to go.
It's
That's
time to
what's
go.
up.
So I left. It took a while, but I left. But I do have a rule.
Okay.
And it's my mama laugh at me. People laugh at me when I say this. If you don't know what you're gonna do in 5 years, you gotta go. So the 5-year mark it was up anyway. So the reason I say that is now it's not 5 years. Let me tell you why it's not 5 years. That's 5 years. I'm 37. So I didn't gave too many people 5 years. Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And this ain't right. So it's like having the conversations up front. What are you looking for and what do you want and where are you going in life? And not just saying because a person show you a different type of love that you wasn't used to, then you gravitate to it. See, I wasn't an affectionate person, so he was super affectionate. I'm like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. He want to hold my hand. What is he doing? But you're like, what is this? Because it's something I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna gravitate to that type of man. Yeah. So, but you ain't looking at none of those. You ain't looking at nothing else. You ain't looking at nothing else.
Red flags and went all over your head.
All you seeing is he's showing me something I never. So of course a person like me, that intrigued me. So he opened up another thing, but he was opening up with something else too. Yeah. He was opening up that, like I said, I had low self-esteem. You would have thought that I would had it all together, but I didn't, because in the middle of the night I'm crying because I don't know where he's coming from. But then guess what? Guess what pops up? Boom, 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 boom. Your childhood.
Oh yeah, for sure.
See, a lot of things happen and you don't know it's happening, and then something come in your life and you like, man, and then it comes back to you. Oh, it's kind of crazy how it do, but it comes back to you.
It's the ancient memory, as it is. It's like it's coming back and it's letting you know all of the stuff that was bothering you then that you never dealt with. Exactly,
because we was taught was, guess what? What you crying for?
Yep, stop crying.
That ain't gonna help the situation.
Yep.
You keep your feelings in. And us black people, we always like, be strong, do this and that. Yep. Guess what? You could be strong and still cry. Yep. So I cry all the time. Yep. I don't care what nobody say. They're like, oh, this you're crying. I would pass me the tissue.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, because it's better out
to let it out.
So So if you don't cry or get out whatever you're going through, you're not really healing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Jesus wept. Okay.
Crying is definitely healing.
It's very healing. And then taking away pride. Yeah. I just told you I'm prideful. I don't know how many people ought to see this. Dshawnda ain't got no job, and that's something big. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a job. I just moved here, but that's like obviously like private. Like it's okay. People don't need to know, but it's okay because I am going to get a job and I'm going to be great. But and then my cavitation gonna jump off too. So it's not about being ashamed of what you are and what you're going through. It's about embracing it. God is rebirthing me. You know what I'm trying to say? He's taking me back where he started me out.
Okay, exactly. And I said that I was, who was I talking to? It was funny. It was another little young lady I was speaking to on the phone the other day. And I told her, I said, I came back home and it's like, this is the place I felt that broke me. And then you come back to the very place, but it's healing. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know what that was about with me going to Atlanta for those 12 years and coming back, and it's just like everything just said, okay. It's time now. Because I think it's what we needed. Because because we have a great future. Yeah. He had to show us something greater than what we were seeing. Exactly. Yeah. So we had to go out our comfort zone and seeing people being polite, like how you doing, and seeing different things, and instead of seeing no shade towards anybody, but it's a different environment here. Yeah. It's more intense. It's not as friendly as when you go to different places. So because people like, I ain't nobody gonna rob me or somebody gonna do something to me, and we on defense mode because we had to be that way. And then you go somewhere, they like, oh no, I done made you a pie. What's the name? I'm like, what you mean? They didn't poison me. I'm about to eat this pie. But it was more so that they was embracive. And it could be, it's good for you because it's like sometimes you don't always have to be on defense. Now it's good to know that what's around you and be careful. You don't just open yourself up to everybody, but it's okay to be loved. And that's what we're missing in the D. Love on me. We can love on each other and not be hating on each other. Getting out the car, I always be like, girl, you wearing that? You know what I'm trying to say? I don't have no problem telling someone else that you look nice. I don't have a problem and not flirt with a man and saying, you look nice, you smell nice, where you get that from? It's nothing wrong with telling somebody good, something good about themselves, or that was good what you did, or telling people. You have to learn how to tell people good about them, because sometimes they don't hear it and they don't know nothing about it. That's why you see on Facebook every time I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I know it's a lot of people that on a daily basis, they parents or they kids or whoever never even tell them they love them, So when I get on Facebook, Instagram, say, hey, if ain't nobody told you they love you today, Candace do. I love you. And it's we definitely have to work from the heart. And I can see when I came home, even like paying attention to my family, paying attention to a lot of my friends around, everybody hurting. They in pain. It's a lot of pain. And I was like, I didn't want to come back home to this. Why am I here? What is going on? And I didn't understand what it was. And it was like, this what you're supposed to be doing. You need to make yourself vulnerable to these people, your family. People need to hear you so they can see what your mission may be in this. People need to heal. Exactly. You know, we need to have more love. We need to have more of this. I can see the relationship gaps is coming. Everybody on the friends with benefit stuff and this, everybody just separating. We supposed to be married, balance, kids, travel, have fun, take trips with your family, being safe.
Right.
Where'd that go? It's gone. How we gonna get it back?
Because
we
the thing about it is we accept it so much.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, on to the next one. We accept it so much, and it's a lot of broken homes. And the women stay, and you see bad things, and you like, it's okay as long as we get together. But is it okay if it's breaking you down? Yeah. So the key thing is the reason that we're here, because regardless of what, we can't handle everybody's problems. So all we can do is show them love.
Show them love.
Hey, boo, how you doing? Give them a hug. You come over to get something to eat. They might reject you every time, but guess what? One day they not. Yeah. And then that time then, all you're doing is just showing them, whether it's uncomfortable if I'm not, I'm going to continue to embrace people no matter what. Because guess what? God is love.
Yeah.
So I'm good. The old Dshawnda would have been spicy, like, I don't care, I'm doing my own thing. Da, da, da. But my thing is, I can't, how can I judge somebody because they don't know their truth yet? Because I didn't know my truth. It took people to give me that in situations to help me understand that. So I had a chance to go out and see it and then come back and fix it. So they didn't have that chance. So it takes them time. It took me time. So it takes them time.
Yeah, most definitely. I had said, I was telling my cousin that today. I said, I'll have to, people that I know is like, they listening. They know what I've been through. I've been very vulnerable with them. And they still kind of continue to go off into whatever they have to go off into. I know they have to learn on their own. Right. So, like I said, and the same thing what you said, no judgment. I can't judge nobody because I done been through so much. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm still standing 10 toes down, which I love that. We black women. I don't want to name this an empowerment thing like I said, but I do want to make this a movement to where we are able to help other women. It's some women screaming help. Like for real, even with your situation, that experience with domestic violence, I haven't had an opportunity and I will not, put that on myself. But the domestic violence part, that's like hard. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of emotional, a lot of not only just physical, but you got verbal as well. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so, it was both. Oh, sometimes you have to be careful what you say. You know how you say, we said, not mean it. Okay. I ain't gonna never. If somebody hit me, I ain't gonna never. I wish somebody would. Or if my man cheated on me, I'm leaving him right there. You don't know what you're gonna do at the situation. So sometimes you can speak on something and you manifest it. So let me tell you something that really, and I had to forgive myself. Let me open this book, okay? I always said I would never, my biggest fear in life to be a single mom, and look what I did. I was so scared that I embraced it in so many ways, and I manifested, and guess what? I became a single mom. Do I regret it? No, but I didn't feel that I was a wife. I ain't never said that I wanted to be a wife. I ain't never said that. You know what I'm trying to say? I said, so if you don't speak it, how would you know it? So I am a wife now. Hello. Okay. One day it's going to happen. But I wasn't ready to be a wife. So not saying that the person I was with was so bad and I was so bad, but two broken people don't end well. So I'm going to go back to something too when we talk about the domestic violence, and I'm going to be honest. And I'm not taking away from what happened to me, but I provoked a lot of stuff. So a lot of times women say, I wish a man would, but why when he came in the house because I'm mad at something, why was I mushing him in his head? Why was I smacking him? For a long time, he would not touch me. And then one day he just snapped. And then I was like, okay, sure, I'm going to be quiet. But then it kept on. Because I hit something. I hit a nerve. And guess what? It was built up and he couldn't control himself. So after a while, I'm like, I ain't even did nothing. I'm getting smacked. I'm not saying what happened was right. Right. I'm not saying that. I wasn't right. You know what I'm trying to say? But the whole key thing is be careful what you do. Because guess what? When we separated and went our own separate ways, when I broke free from that toxic relationship, guess what? He saw that all his life. So I brought something up in him. See, everybody's so quick to say, oh, a man, this and this and that. But women got to own that accountability. Like I said, I mean, of course, I shouldn't have did what I did, and he should have restraint. But guess what? How can we do that and we both broken?
Don't know.
Do you understand? So I'm not saying it's a good thing. Some people's cases are different. But what I'm saying my case is women, be careful with your mouth. What you say, because your mouth is a weapon. It's a sword. You can tear a man down when I want to build him up. So why are we tearing him down? Learn how to control your emotions. And learn how to control your hands. And don't do things that you're going to regret. Because if you mad at him because he's doing something and you go out and sleep with somebody else or do something that y'all both you're not growing. Y'all making the situation worse.
Making it worse,
So I'm not saying I'm condoning it, but sometimes we got to be accountable for ourselves. So say if I did get that husband I was supposed to have, I would have put him through the ringer. Hitting him and like, what you gonna do? Was that correct?
You never had an opportunity.
I didn't know how to express myself because that's all I saw. Women like, I wish he would, and they was aggressive when. You got to learn how to pick your battles. So I've been single for about 7 years now. And I'm picking my battles because when I feel something ain't right, I go ahead and address it. If a person doesn't correct it, then I push away. And there's nothing wrong with that. I got a good do not disturb, block. Because sometimes you don't owe nobody no explanation. Because I gave you the blueprint, what I'm looking for or what we trying to do. And you didn't do that.
You didn't mean
So guess what? It's okay to walk away. And everybody like, oh my goodness, you're so young. You got a lot going for yourself. Why nobody wants you and stuff like that? It's not that they don't want me. It's just that they're not for me.
And then your standards, they gotta meet them. And you have boundaries.
And this crazy part is, it's not high what I'm asking for.
No.
So let me tell you what some of it is. And it's crazy. I said, I just want a friend. I love pillow talk. If I can't come home to talk to my man, I love you, boo. I love my friends, but I want to talk to my man. Because I want to hear certain ways he think about stuff instead of from a woman point of view. Because we emotional. And they be cutthroat. They be like, nah, why would you do that? You be like, oh, man. And the girl be like, girl, they missing out. No. You need somebody to tell you the truth. And the other part was, I want a person to have ambition, always willing to do more than what expected. And you know what? The list could go on, but those top two,
those are the ones.
I can't get it. And you'd be surprised. I can't get it. I was dating a guy. He was amazing. And he was complaining about his job all the time. And I'm a solution type person. And I was like, well, if you're doing a manager job, it's open is always coming up. Why you don't apply for it? He was like, because I like what I do and I like to stay in this. I don't want to be nobody's boss. I said, but if you already doing it, walk in it and then get more money in it. He stopped talking to me. Everybody like, dang, Dshawnda, why'd you say something to him? Because guess what? I challenged him. Just as much as I want him to challenge me. It's not like we in a competition, but I want to see you win.
So do you think that a lot of those ways and stuff, like you talking to these guys, you seem intimidating to them maybe? They like, oh, she just too much, or oh, she just, like, what do you think it is, though? How
am I intimidating when you maybe just don't know yourself? I ain't nothing intimidating about me. I'm so down to earth. I'm cool. What they say, jam from the block. I'm cool to the mud. I don't mind. I am down to earth. I could be corporate Dshawnda. I could be the homegirl Dshawnda. I could be, whatever, spiritual Dshawnda. I have different hats and it's all genuine, but I shouldn't be intimidated.
No.
So my thing is, it's something about you that you're not fully walking in your purpose, and that's why you feeling some type of way about me. So you're not going to drag me down because you feeling some type of way. If anything, it should be a challenge. Because nothing should be easy, and I should be a challenge trying to get you too as well. It's not all about the man. The man got to chase the woman. I had some men that intimidated me, and I'm gonna be honest. I was like, ooh, my goodness, I wasn't expecting this. Okay. I had a man, he cared himself. He was so, he had OCD. And I was like, I'm a clean person, but I'm not like, oh, there go a little spot. Let me go clean it right now. I'm like, oh, I can do that in the morning or whatever. He was everything was everything was creased. Everything. I'm all like, oh, I put mine in the dryer and let it dry. He was so intimidating. He walked with a purpose. And you know what? Guess what he made me? I'm more aware of certain things. So I was like, dang, I wish I'd have made the cut. But I didn't want to be on eggshell the whole time. Goodness gracious. I was like, goodness, what kind of woman he about to get? Because she got to be extremely tight. Is they going to be military?
But you see how you have different people, like even those different men that you talk to, they teach you something every time.
Did.
So regardless if you don't make the cut or you don't deal with them or you push them away, it's always something you learn from them for something.
He
and
was like, this girl,
know.
I can't. If you don't use that coaster. I'm like, oh, snap. I thought the
don't put your shit on my table.
Exactly. I thought the paper towel was good. I'm like, he like, that's what the coaster. I'm like, oh, shoot. He got me in the decorating too. Because I'm all like, oh, I thought my little stuff was cute. He's like, no, where's your pillow at? Where's the area rug? I'm like, oh, shoot.
You so funny.
If I'm not learning from you, what's the point of it? You know what I'm trying to say? So I appreciate him because he got me more together.
Yeah.
Then he prepared me
over
something.
Here crying.
Right.
He is so crazy.
He had me prepared for, guess what? I didn't know I was going to have kids, then twins. So he got me prepared, like having a system. I got to do this with the girls. And I have to clean this, like show them how to do this. And it's teaching me how to be better. Because before the kids, I just had a housekeeper.
Okay.
So it's teaching me like, dang. So I was up there like, oh, I'm the jump, right? But then it's making me humble. Like for instance, now when we could just talk real talk now. I don't do no hair. I did my hair today. I said, Lord have mercy. Detroit bringing something out of me. But guess what they bringing out of me? I see girls like, oh, I did my own hair. I didn't get it done. Why you didn't use this? I'm like, okay, what that product is. And guess what? Got me flat ironing my hair.
Oh yeah.
So guess
sure.
what? Sometimes you gotta not be on this high horse.
Step out that comfort zone.
In comfort zone, and guess what? Save money. So now I ain't gonna say I'm gonna do my hair all the time, okay? But until I get my grind on, I'm doing my hair. But then until that time comes, look how much money I'm gonna save in between. But the old Dshawnda did do that. But then Dshawnda got up there in a high level, and she's like, "Oh, I don't do that. I gotta get my hair done every 3 days." And I was wasting money when I could have been saving more money,
saving it,
and investing more in, guess what? The businesses. I always dealt with stocks in a little bit. You're not trying to say, but just giving more back into myself. But when you're going with the flow, like some people get $1 million, they don't know how to act. Give it to me now, honey. I'm gonna show you what to do with it. I'm gonna sit on it. I'm gonna not sit on it like not do nothing with it, but I'm going to think before I act. Not just, oh, let me go get my hair done. Let me go, because that's what we used to do. Because you go for what you don't have. Yep,
you're totally right. What is your advice that you would give women, other than, I know you stated as far as certain things that you say, keeping your mouth closed. What else would you advise women that's trying to come out of toxic relationships? They've been in them for so long. I'm talking about a long time.
Loving yourself. If you do not love yourself, what good are you? So, especially if you got kids. Now, this didn't happen with my kids around, so absolutely not. Okay. But just taking time out for yourself. Giving yourself at least, if you can do 10 minutes, because most of the guys that's abusive are controlling. So you don't get no time to yourself. So more than you think. Let me say a good sign is one of them. When a guy is constantly know your every move, and then you think it's cute, but he just trying to get your pattern together, because he might be doing something else. Or he just trying to keep a tally on you so you won't do nothing else. So when you get out your whatever you doing, what you doing?
Yeah.
That's a mental one. Okay. See, everybody think it's always a touch. That's mentally getting you trained. Yeah. Now, when you're in a healthy relationship, it's good. Hey, babe, I'm just leaving the store. That's not what I'm saying. People like, oh, my husband know. I know your husband know. Good. Okay, we got that. Yeah. We're not saying that. right. People be acting like because they have a spouse that is everything. Yeah. It is everything because that's God put y'all together. But don't make it seem like you don't understand what somebody been through themselves. Like you don't understand what it was like before you got there. Yeah. How it was. So don't act like you don't ignore that guy was, where you was at or clocking your time. That's a sign. That is a sign. But you think it's cute because you ain't never had it. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? When you don't have something, you more accepting to it. Yep. You're all right. Then when you get out of line, that's when you get dealt with. Everything else happen. Indirectly, you don't see it happen, but those are the little things. Just kind of like if a person say, back in the day, I'm just using this, but even though it's legal here, they say when you smoke weed, it's a gateway for other drugs. Possibility. Because guess what? It all depends on the mindset of the person, what they want to do. Environment. Right. So that's, somebody might want to do an E-pill. It might shifted somewhere else. But I'm just saying, it just that first high. You know what I'm trying to say? So it opened up to different things. So I'm not saying that it's nothing wrong with, you know, a person knowing your whereabouts just for safety purpose. But I'm just saying, pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because it can be overwhelming when a person clocking your every move, doing a lot of stuff like that. You don't pay attention. And when you do something out the normal, then it's always like, what's going on with you? And it's a defensive mode.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I know it sounds weird, but, you know.
I sat up here and just kind of put me in a little thought real quick. What's up?
No, I just got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so, and this is just going back on, let me turn my microphone up a little bit. This is just going back to the abuse thing. So this is a question that I don't think I've ever heard the answer to, and I'm kind of curious, right? So, being in an abusive relationship, obviously, I know you have to. I think you mentioned taking accountability for what you're doing to bring this about sometimes, or knowing what those triggers are, that kind of thing. But like for family members who are outside looking in, what's like the protocol for other people to handle it? Because like oftentimes I got sisters and cousins, and I'm like, if somebody touched them, I want to fly off the handle, but you can't, because you know if you do it, she just go get back with them and stuff. And then sometimes you don't react, and then the woman starts feeling like, well, my cousins, my brothers don't, like, they don't care. So like, what are we supposed to do?
Love you.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why a person go more into their arms. Because you rejecting them. As soon as they see you, you still with that good, you know, that guy ain't nothing. Da, 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 da. And you bashing them when they just trying to get love because they just need a break. Because when they go home, it's on a whole nother level. It's tense. It's, you don't know what's going to happen or where the argument going to go. So it's no, and another thing, pray. Prayer works. And just loving them. Don't judge them. I was thankful that I had people in my life that they never said nothing. All they said, they let me talk. They let me cry. And as they said, when you ready, we right here.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, I'm here for you, and they embrace me. So it it opened up so much. Like some people have cases where people do get, you know, die and all that kind of stuff. My case was I provoked it, and it was something that was already in that person, but he respected me, but I kept on pushing him, and then I brought it out of him. So did that make sense? Now you do have people that is in them, it's on a whole nother level where they just what I say, you get smacked up for that. I'm not talking to those type of people. I'm talking about my truth. So I don't want nobody thinking that I'm saying it's okay that a man hit you or do anything. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? That was just my situation. And I just feel like if you have someone, or if you still are in something, it's just take time out for yourself and just see your value. When you start to see your value, so let me tell you one of the things I did. For a while, I used to think it was crazy, but I do it all the time. I look myself in the mirror. Be like, dang, you was fly. And it's like, for a while, you're like, dang, you know, this girl conceited. But you know, when you hear stuff, your brain start to act like that.
Mind.
I said, you fly. You're amazing. You're going to go to work every day. You're going to do this. You fighting for your kids. Your daughter autistic. Yeah, you want to cry, but guess what? She is okay. I talk to myself in the mirror because I see myself and I see where I want to go, and I be just talking to myself, and it takes me in so many different levels. And being able to talk to yourself, writing a journal, because that's amazing. That's like poetry to yourself. I did that in undergrad, didn't know what I was doing, but now I know.
Yeah, you understand now.
And I always say prayer is everything. So don't let them feel defeated because they already feel defeated. Just embrace them. And just be like, hey, girl, I was just calling you out the blue. You all right? If you got some time, come see me. Just send them random texts. I love you. Just anything, affirmations, anything that could bring up their spirit, because after a while, they're going to start blossoming.
Yeah.
You just got to feed it.
Because they got love somewhere else outside of, you know, that too.
Right, because they make you feel that they love you more than your family because your family cut you off.
Yep.
Your friends cut you off. I don't want to hear this. All she gonna do is be with that man because he ain't this and he ain't that. But then my thing is, it's a reason why she there, because guess what? She was looking for something. Y'all wasn't giving it to her. And she is taking to him, even though he's doing it in a messed up way, he's still giving something that she's lacking.
I never in a million years thought of it that way. I didn't. It's like, I'm not going to keep coming over here, stopping this dude from going upside your head. We're going to keep going back. So now I'm just going to dismiss both of y'all.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, right? So then you get left in a situation where now ain't nobody really messing with me. So maybe I'm gonna have to take these hits to the head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I said before, I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
I started to feel like, dang, how can I really talk about it? You know what I'm trying to say? Because I know they're gonna be like, not Dshawnda, not the one that fought anybody that messed with her brothers. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the facts. That's facts. Everybody, if you know me, I don't play with them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to jail behind that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the old Dshawnda, not the new Dshawnda. I don't fight no more. I just say a prayer for you. But what I'm saying to you is just showing people love is so. You know what? A key thing too that I had a hard time dealing with was I ain't never been loved. And it's like I ain't never, and I'm gonna be honest. And if people can judge me how they want to judge me, this is facts. I ain't never had no Valentines. I'm 37. I ain't never had no Valentines. I always had situations.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate your services. That's real talk. Women act like that don't happen. When you in your career, you doing your thing, you don't got time for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't never really had like I never really got nothing for my birthday because I always took care of myself. I always been independent. So it's kind of like you just be moving.
It's that part of like when I was saying the other day about black families in our environment, women being raised to be independent. It's like that's like the worst thing you can do at this point.
Right.
Because being so independent, these women, they don't even know how to balance off with a husband now because she's so independent. You know what I mean? She's not even looking at the fact that you got a husband to help you.
Exactly.
And or your significant other, whatever you want to call that or whatever, but it makes you so independent to the point where you just like you're not able to receive or be receptive
and
to
you don't
anything.
know how to deal with it. So when Don, like, you know, whatever his name is, I don't want to keep him anonymous because hopefully I said the person I was dealing with, he get flowers, he does. I'm like, oh shoot, what is this? I bought my own self flowers, and it was just the little things that matter to me.
Yeah.
So everybody always think I'm a complex because I do for myself. Because my daddy always say, when you hit a different point in your life, you're supposed to buy something nice for yourself. So when I graduated college, I bought me a diamond ring.
Okay.
When I got my master's, you know what I'm saying? I bought me expensive, I bought stuff to be like, you know what? I bought stuff. That's just for me.
For you.
And if a man can't give me what I want, then why I be with him? But that's not the case.
That's
See,
not it.
I am okay with you just loving me for who I am. Now, you do have to work now. I'm not saying that everybody going to be blowing up my DMs. That's not what I'm saying, honey boo-boo. I got 2 kids, okay? We got things going on. I like to travel. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you gravitate to things that you don't have. And that you be wondering how this successful woman or this successful man get this person that they like, oh, he not even attractive, she not even attractive, they
It
fat,
ain't even about
or they
that.
this and that, or they got a one eye. But guess what? Do that really matter when it's all said and done? When you down and with your best friend and y'all having that pillow talk, it be the best time.
It'd be the best talk. Be lit.
Ever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So everybody
you know I
think, everybody think that getting material things is everything. That is fine when y'all able to do that and y'all bossed up to where y'all at y'all level. But me, I'm simple.
Yeah.
Just notice things about me. Like I'm very in tune to little things.
Yeah.
So if you say my favorite color is purple, right? I make sure when your birthday comes, I don't want to give you
something purple.
I don't want to give you no gift card. I'm gonna get you something that's purple. That
Yep.
justify what you are. People got to be able to listen.
Yep. To understand and not to reply. Most definitely, for sure. That's how those conversations, them hard conversations that I talk about when you first start dating or you trying to be with somebody, those conversations need to be had. A lot of people don't want to have the conversations. People run from them. And if you're going to run from me in this conversation, you're going to run from a whole lot of other stuff.
Exactly.
I can't deal with you because I ran before. You know what I mean? I was running for a long time. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to talk about this right now. I don't want to. That shit cause problems. You know what I'm saying? It bring on more emotional issues, and you find yourself running so much to the point where you just gonna keep doing circles over and over and over again, and things are gonna keep coming back. Oh, until you fix it.
Right.
It's gonna say, nah, come on, no, we gotta deal with it right now. Situation. I was speaking with a guy today, one of my friends, and he was saying men are lost too. You know what I mean? They need love. You know, they've been devalued for a very long time. And that's why I said with this platform, I'm not here to do man bashing. We're not here to do woman bashing, but we are here to have you take accountability for your toxic behavior now, okay?
Exactly, because it's both ways. It's both ways.
And my ladies, oh man, it's hard. You know what I mean? For them to be receptive to what you're trying to say, you know, and you're not trying to tell them, but it's more of experience. Based on experience and what I've been through, I can definitely tell you this much. You got to let go. I don't care how long you've been in a relationship. It could be 20 years, 25, whatever the case may be. That day needs to come where you're going to have to let go.
Exactly.
If you've been dealing with that. And back to my fellas, as far as my guys, I know that they have a lot of trauma, things that they have not been able to deal with. They don't know how to deal with. They don't even know where to start sometimes. Guys are put so high because they have to lead their families. You know, they have kids, they have this, and that, and the other. If their fathers aren't around to give them good examples, or their environment just by itself, most Detroit guys, just to be real, they in the streets.
All day.
Because that's what's here. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that. And we don't have a lot of men movements to put them in, you know, or try to, you know, talk and connect with guys that's on a positive level that's not in the streets or stuff like that. So hopefully that's something that can come and play. They can teach them how to be husbands.
But can I say this? One thing about women that you always blame the man, but you accepted it for so long. So you made him the way he is. If you set your boundaries and tell him what you say, and they don't mess with, but guess what? We ain't used to being by ourselves. We don't like being by ourselves. So then you get mad when they treat you bad, but you accept it for so long. So how you gonna get mad? You should be mad at yourself. Not saying that he's right for what he doing or she right what she doing, but you accept it so long. You built that character. Now they confident in their mess.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. They'll come. That's why I say when you talk to them now, they'll come to us, women like us, that's like, we on some mental stimulation stuff, you know.
Right.
But you got these easy women that's out there, they giving it up so fast, they doing this, so they're training them to be able to deal with that part of them. And it's like, no, you can't come at every female like that. You come at the ones that you see that's putting themselves out there like that. They gotta wake up and stop. They need to change.
Exactly.
So if you change your whole situation, these men gonna change too on how they approaching you, how they treating you, how they hitting you with they feel like now they ain't gotta have a conversation with you.
Let me tell you what somebody
said. It's just like text. Let me see you this weekend.
I went on a date here, and I was Detroit. I ain't throwing no shade, but okay. I went on a date, and the guy was so persistent. Like, he called every day. He was so nice. So he was like, yeah, your energy. So I started laughing. I said, you must have been on IG and you trying to figure out what kind of energy I got. You trying to use the words that we be using to trap me. So I just said, okay, my energy. So we finally went out to eat, and we sat down and we talked. And he was talking about his past relationship and this and this and that. And I said, dog, you bashing this woman. You was with her for 4 years. How you bashing her so bad? What about you? Can I ask you a question though, boo? How old was she? I said, you 43 and she was 26. So talk about this. And then we just start talking, and I'm digging more into him. He started getting uncomfortable. I said, you can't. And I said, so what do you want from me? This was just a general conversation. He was like, I mean, and he was like, what you doing after this one? Netflix and chill? I said, oh, dang. I said, so guess what? I pay for my own food. So if you think I'm worth $20, you think Dshawnda Boo worth $20. I got I ain't working. I had $20, okay? And I tipped him. So Detroit, he was fine though. That's the only thing about he was very attractive. He was fine. He was put together very nice, because that's what get us, because he smelled good. He presented himself like he had it all together. But guess what? What stimulates me is your mental. So a lot of times guys can come talk to me, and it's be like, you have a chance. It's not that I think I'm all that. It's like, I know you're not going to stimulate me mentally, so we don't have nothing to give each other, because guess what? I'm not no quick fix. I've been there, done that. So you can't do that with me. So it's not that you're intimidated by me. You just know that it's going to take you got to work for it. You got to work for me. And we might work with each other. So guess what? You don't want to do that. So go ahead and go with Kiki. You can go with Kiki all you want to.
He said Kiki.
Because
Drake just started some shit.
I'm not about to do it. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's not that he was a bad guy. It's just he wasn't ready for what I had and where I'm trying to go. I do want to be married. So people ask me all the time, what you want? I said,
I'm
I'm going for it because my daughter be getting on me, Gabby be getting on me. She be like, I know you love me, but it would be good if you had two people here. I said, why you say two people here? Because I know you be dealing with Olivia, I could be with the other person or vice versa. I said, you're right. I said, but so you don't think I love you? She said, you do. I know you do, but it's only one you. So, mommy, can you work on it? Can you work on it? So I went to the gas. I know. So I went to the gas station. Let me tell you this. I went to the gas station, and this guy we were just having a conversation at the pump. She was like, did you get his number? I said, get his number for what? She said, man, I just thought you was going to find you a husband. I just started laughing. So
it's bad when your kids start saying, I need
so she like, Mom, it's time for you to date. It's time for you to get out there. But I always be kind of like, how can I date? And I just moved here. I haven't got myself together. Yeah. Now, I will mingle, but I'm just saying, I got to be able to put something to the table. So, ladies, remember that. How can you expect a man to give you so much and you ain't bringing nothing to the table either?
Yeah,
now, I'm bringing in a lot of other things outside of finances, but I'm just saying that makes a difference too, because I always said my biggest fear was to have a man, to have a son. I didn't want a son. I'm not saying nothing wrong with them. It's because I see that they carry the world on their back.
Yeah, they do.
It's so hard for them, and that was my biggest fear. But if God bless me down the line with a son, that'd be cool. But I'm 37, so I know that's another conversation. Because I know you talking about women having their in 40s. That's good for them. That is good for them. But I'm trying to travel the world. Okay, all right. So, but it's just. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, let me get myself together. You got to know when I know it's been a long time, but you got to let me be able to give something too. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Not just saying every time I buy you a drink and something to eat too. It ain't always the man got to pay for everything. So dang, how he going to save his money and get where we supposed to go?
Yeah, you got it.
But I know a lot of women going to tell me, oh, that's her, that's this and that, but you being selfish too.
Yeah.
I know I'm stirring it up, but you can't.
No,
you
ain't. You ain't stirring it up. It's real talk, and that's what this platform is about. I mean, I gotta get some men on here, okay?
Yes.
Because they got a lot of things to say, talking to me, and I'm just like, I listen to them, and I feel like bad sometimes, because I'm just like, I know that they out there, and it just need to get pulled up. Like they totally need help too, and I just don't know how. How it can start. You got all these women too that's actually scoring men, and women don't even know you scoring them too.
Absolutely.
Like real big time.
We do.
You coming into the relationships and you're taking control sometimes. You have women that take control in a relationship, and it's like, snatch his penis off now? Come on now, you need to give it back.
What they say, we don't like, when we was growing up, we didn't like no square, did we? No. But now I take a square, a rectangle any day. But they don't want me. I'm like, dang, boo, I'm good. I promise you. I'm just outgoing. I promise you. I am everything you're looking for. But because we didn't want them because we didn't appreciate them. Yeah. And a lot of time people be all like, well, he don't look the way I want him to look. So you so stuck on what somebody, they outer appearance instead of their inner appearance, then you're lost. So what is your values? Yeah. You not all that. Because if you that shallow, you not all that. Yeah. So it's more to it. So the squares, because he can't handle me. But guess what? Why do I have to be handled?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We always felt like that, the guys that's out there, the street dudes or people that had a little aggression, that had went through something. You like, yeah, I like that because he can protect me. But really? Yeah. If you're going to get shot, you're going to get shot. It don't matter what it's going to do. The bullet don't got no name, so he ain't going to protect you if the bullet come to you anyway. Am I right or wrong?
It's protection in another way. Right. It shouldn't be that way.
But my thing is, or he doesn't, and I'm going to throw a little salt in here. Sexually, he don't do this, but guess what? You could teach somebody whatever you want them to teach.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. And look, if they don't dress a certain way, we can change that.
If he got too much weight to him, you can help. You can walk with him, get him all this. It's all about what you willing to invest. So you invest in something that's bad, they ain't gonna give you no return, but you want to invest in something that is good. Yep. So my thing is, you can teach him, and he can teach you because because you used to a certain way. Because guess what? Did we supposed to have sex before marriage? So if we ain't did for a bad time, we know we getting ourselves into it. See, that's your problem. That's our problem at a time that we wanted a certain thing. But guess what? In all reality, when you love somebody, that don't even matter. I'm telling you, even though after when you get done with the ex, you're like, dang, he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't all that. but you could tell because you was in love.
Yeah, we was in love. Yep.
So that's all that matters. But
Like, what do you think as far as these are other big questions that's been coming up? Big
go
discussions.
for it. I want you to get a man up here. You need to have a panel with different women. Let's go for it. I want to hear it.
We're gonna do that. Q, actually, I'm gonna ask you as well, from the man point of view, but from your point of view, as far as sex, people looking at sex like it's just, I don't know. Everybody had their own different views about how long should you wait before you have sex and this and that and the other when you first meeting somebody or whatever the case may be. This was a question that came up through the week when I talked to somebody, and I was like, do I really want to discuss this on there? Because everybody does have a different view about that. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you think 90-day rules need to apply? Do you think this and that or whatever the case may be?
Sister Lewis is watching this.
Oh,
my
yeah.
mama.
All right,
say,
mama.
I'm about to say, the right answer is until I get married. Okay, right? So all the Christians out there, until you get married, okay? But for people that have little situations sometimes, you know what I'm trying to say, they dealing with the flesh.
There you go.
Okay, me personally,
and just based on too with you 7 years not being sexually active as well. Like,
I ain't say I wasn't sexually active. I just had no boyfriend.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Let's
clear
that
that up. Sorry, mama, I said the truth. So I just didn't have no boyfriends, and I was going through a phase where ain't no man gonna hurt me. I'm all that in a bag of chips. Thank you for your services, and I was still getting hurt in the long run because
for sure.
I ain't no gangster. I got feelings. I can't get benefits, friends with benefits. I'm sensitive as a mug. I was like, dang, he ain't called me today, and I was like, we not in a relationship, so I was still not gangster. I was still hurt myself. But that's another story because we were trying to be the man. We can't be the man because we get sensitive in a while. Because if a person really have sex with you every day, of course feelings gonna get involved. When he like, I thought we was just kicking. I'm like, oh, we was, and the whole time I'm crying to my friend like, dang, I thought eventually he was gonna switch me over, but you know what? I played myself.
Okay, switch me over. Look, like, give her that position. Yeah. When you gonna get that position,
right? Like you my girlfriend now because we doing it. No, men don't think that way, but that's another topic. If you ready for that talk, you said that.
About that now.
You open that up. So I'm just saying, I ain't saying. So let's go back to your question. How long should you wait? I would say it just, right now, because I want a husband, I have been leaning more to not put myself in sexual, things that make me want to have sex. I try not to put myself in positions that way. If it's naturally going to happen, it's no time on it. If it happened, it happened because we're grown. But I try to keep myself in areas because I like them. I don't want to cloud our what we doing. I don't try to go too fast. You know what I'm saying? I try to make more fun things, more things that we don't have to be so deep sometimes. Okay. So, because naturally, if you're attracted to the person, it's gonna happen. That Netflix and chill. Oh, he was gonna get me. I was like, for $20 you ain't gonna get me like that now. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, when I was a kid, that was like, oh, he brought me something to eat. Okay, he gave me something. No, that ain't gonna work this time. Okay, I can cook, so I can cook me something to eat. Forget your omelet. We just went to Coney Island. Is he serious?
Oh my God, I'm over here crying, yo.
Right. So I just think it all depends on the person, but just try to. It's what your boundaries are, what you want. So I'm trying to wait longer than the average, because I'm going off of my body, my flesh, because I try to be in areas. So I don't want anything that's intimate. So I want to stay out, moving, laughing. Let's exercise together. Let's do something where it don't have to be so sexual. But if it happened because that's what we want to happen. But a lot of times it do the judgment. But I'm at a point where I want to see how long he can respect me and want to wait. So I am a very sexual person. So once you start, it's like, oh, what you doing? You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't want that to be it. You know, how I developed that because I didn't feel sexy. So you see, I got these little leggings on. That's for me to feel sexy. It's not for nobody else because I never felt sexy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just be like, okay, I'm doing it. And you trying to prove a point, but you gotta feel it within yourself. Like you don't have to have sex to actually penetrate somebody to actually be intimate with somebody. And I learned that about myself. So people come off and like, oh, you probably this and that. No, I'm not. I'm actually, I might come off because I come off a little spicy, but that is not who I am. Right. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just, it's like I'm expressing myself because that's what I felt today. day. So just because you want to wear, sweatsuit, that's your business. Today I want to wear some heels with little things because I almost wear my kids all the time. This is something I want to do for myself. So that's another way of just showing who I am and what I'm trying to do. So it just all depends. But at least, ladies, I at least give you FYI. If you can wait 3 months, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? But when you do it, I'm telling you, once you do it that first couple weeks or that day or whatever, it's nothing wrong with, because I see people still get married and still work out, but I'm just saying it depends on how your mindset is, how far you can go. Now, the question is that really, and Q can answer this, or you can, is should you get mad if you're dating somebody and you're not having sex with him, but he's still having sex with someone else?
I mean, how are you going to know? If he told you? Is he
Eventually,
telling you?
One day it's going to come out. I mean, hopefully the person that you with is being transparent with you. And if he say, well, I have, or this and that, do you expect that person to be celibate with you while y'all wait to do it? Or is it okay because y'all dating to still have sex with other people? Because how would you want that? Because you can't, that's the tough part, because I was holding out, because that's some women feel like if I go ahead and give it to him, then he won't have to give it to nobody else, because when I was holding out, he was still getting it. So it's like, dang, so what was we really doing? Not saying that he was a bad person, but how can he see and go and we grow if he still got something else going on? So what's the point of waiting anyway? Just ask them. Let's throw that out there. Think about it.
The conversation that I just had with my cousin as well, similar to this, because I said the same thing. I said, you have to understand, men have said so many times, man, if I can hit that in 2 or 3 days or in that week, man, is anybody going to be able to do that? Right. So now, if a woman hear that mentally, she is going to hold back. But then you got to, on the other end, the flip end, he don't want to wait no 90 days. So it's like you telling women, you don't want to come off too fast to a man, but then if you coming off too slow, then he gonna travel somewhere else. So that's something for a Q question. That's that man question. Because
regardless of what, you lose, win anyway. So that's why we go back into, for a woman, that's when we answer our question. It's when you're ready and you at the level, it depends on your mindset. So if you want to give it up to for 2 days anyway, but it don't matter if you make him wait. You got people that's married that still cheat. So what you talking about? Man gonna do what he want to do anyway, but that's another topic. Go ahead, Q.
So we talking about the question of how soon woman should have sex, right?
Yeah, or do you feel as though if a woman giving it up too fast or whatever, and I say you're interested in her. Your intentions is to date her. That's what you want. You want her. This is not a friends with benefits. This is not a situationship, nothing. This is pure, I want this girl in my life, blah, blah, blah. If she want to have sex with you, on y'all maybe first date or whatever the case may be, how does that make you feel mentally as a man? Do you feel like that's just too fast? Is she doing this with everybody else? Or, well, shoot, I'm straight, man. I still want to, deal with her.
See, for me, I think that's it's going to be a biased answer, because I feel like if she did give up the sex on, let's say, the first date, then I'm not going to say that she doing that for everybody, because I think that highly of myself. I feel like perhaps it was me is the reason why she gave it to me the first day. But to be honest with you, and this might sound a little crazy, but I would rather go ahead and get that out the way, because now I get to find out, is that it? Maybe I have sex with you and I find out now, okay, that's all it was. I kind of need to know that. I don't want to be invested 5 or 6 months in thinking that it's really some kind of connection. Then we start having the sex and I realize, all right, it's just sex. This other part wasn't even worth it. I kind of want to go ahead and get it out the way. Maybe we go ahead and knock this, no pun intended, knock this out. But I just kind of get that part out the way, because, it is a part of the relationship. So I need to know, am I only into this for the sex, or is it possibly something else? And I feel like if you putting in a lot of effort into figuring out what the other stuff is before you have sex, that now you putting pressure on the sex. Because now, let's say I think you're putting pressure on it in regards to the fact that now I've waited so long. Now you start really trying to figure out, is it going to be a disappointment? Is it going to be too much? Am I putting pressure on a woman? Because at this point, we're of age.
Right.
You putting these months on months on months, we ain't got time. When I was 19, 20, okay, yeah, give me 3 months, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in my 40s. I ain't got time. We having sex like it's cool. But
if it naturally happens, it just happens. So that's how I feel about it too. It depends on what you want out the person. Me personally, I try to push back from it because, you know, I be wanting to get it all the time, and that's not good. So you know what I'm trying to say? So once you open it, it's like, okay, we in it. It's not to say I don't like you, but you know what I'm trying to say? Because I go for a long period of time not doing it. So it's all like, woo, thank you. I've been waiting. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'd rather wait a little bit. You know what I'm trying to say? Not to say I don't like them, that I'm not interested in them. Yeah. I just want to wait a little bit because I'm trying to build for something. So don't, you know, for me now, I would just hold off a little bit, and hopefully he would take that journey with me because I want to be in sync. So if he dipping off over there, it's going to be hard for him to be in sync with me sometimes because I'm growing at a different level than he is, and it's going to be kind of awkward. So it's
women
gonna be
always
hard.
have.
So it's going to be kind of hard. But I'm speaking of most men. I just really feel like they getting somewhere else anyway, and it's fewer men that actually that's real talk that they're going to get it anyway, whether you do it or not. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of like, you know, win-lose situation, but it just all depends on what you want and what you want out of it. Or you could just say, guess what? Because I understand that. Because I understand that a man gonna get it somewhere else. I understand that, guess what? We're just dating. But now if we together, then it's a problem. So if he do that, I'm not like, okay, I mean, cool. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
we really don't know for sure if he getting it somewhere else too, though.
You but we always assume that,
To be fair, we can't because we don't know. We really don't. It's the same thing with them. So if you have a guy sit up and say, oh, she ain't doing nothing fucking some other people, or you're going to feel some type of way. So it's the same thing what we saying about with men. You know, it's like they going to get it in. We don't know that, though. And see, when our minds are set like that, that's where we devalue them at.
It's just,
you feel what I'm saying?
so honestly, I hear what you're saying, but we stirring up some stuff now, and I'm talking truth. I'm talking truth. I know you for them too. I'm for them. I'm for them too. I want y'all, boo. I love y'all for real.
But this is us starting a different
all I'm saying is you talking about, but listen, Q, is she talking about the square? Or is she talking about the other one? The other one ain't waiting. The hectagon, he ain't waiting. Okay, but the square is because he gonna see your value. You gotta probably work a little bit more for that hectagon to come around. But that square he might. Okay, but that hectagon ain't waiting. Okay, so it's all about where your taste is going.
So funny.
Am I right around? Because I'm just being honest. Men are physical. You know how it took me and my kid's father. It took me, like, for real, a long time to really digest our relationship. I wouldn't talk to nobody, and I was celibate for about 3 or 4 years because I was so heartbroken. And everyone like, you're not doing it. I'm like, I couldn't, you know. And he had 2, 3 other women. And I'm just like, I'm sitting up there heartbroken, and he moved on. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, it depends on the person. How do you take it? You know what I'm trying to say? But I just don't see men. I'm not saying all men, but I don't see them just sitting around like, I'm waiting. The square might too. The husband I want, like, I want you to wait for me, baby. Just wait for me, please. But if you don't, I ain't mad at you because guess what? I don't have expectations.
Yeah. So only thing I wanted to say about that is that I think that you can realistically have an idea of how long you want to, I guess, hold out, I guess we'll call it. But I think in between time, I just want to make sure that you do at least acknowledge the fact that you want to have sex with me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you holding out saying, well, this is the 3-month rule, this is it. But, like, don't make me feel like I'm in this alone. Like I'm almost like I'm press you. Like I'm the only one over here want to have sex. Now we kind of got a problem though, because it's like now I'm trying to force it. Like you say you like me, but like I don't want to beat you over the head with it, but also at least let me know that you want to.
Well, you could do that a lot other ways. It's by
but a lot of women don't.
But just by just talking or just the touch. Hey, how you doing, handsome? I like to encourage the men I'm with. I'm a big cheerleader. I'd be like, who is that coming out the car right now? He's like, go, girl. I'm like, shoot.
That is more uncommon.
I love that because, especially with our black men, I'm not saying I don't want to date another race, but something about a black man, I want them. I want like the world could change a woman easily. I want to give him what the world gave me that he couldn't get. I want a black man, so I ain't gonna never. I don't. You know what? Even now, when somebody make me upset, and I have dated somebody, and I actually really did like him, but the situation didn't work the way I wanted it to work. But I wasn't mad because guess what? When the truth finally came out, the truth came out. And sometimes you have to accept that person. But guess what? I learned from him. And I tell this person all the time, thank you for letting me know that my heart beats again. Because I ain't never think I was going to love again. So am I mad at the person? No. Of course, he's like, damn, do this all over again. I was happy at one time. It was a good year. Yeah. It was a good year. But one thing I learned was I can love again. So he kind of got out some kinks for whoever's supposed to be in my life. Or if he came back, but not. See that? If he came back. So you always got the thought, like, what if he changed? That's another problem that we have. He ain't coming back, baby. I know he ain't coming back. Because guess what? If a man wants you, he's going to pursue you. And he didn't pursue me. He let it fall by the wayside. And it is what it is. But guess what? I am thankful for him because guess what? He gave me something else on my journey. So being single out here is always a journey. Being married is always a journey. Because I listen to a lot of my friends in their situations. It is always a journey. Yep. So don't let the situation take over you. You take control of the situation. Yep. As long as you have communication. Because a lot of we don't communicate. No. A lot of black people don't communicate. Or people in general that don't know. But I'm just telling you, we don't communicate. It's like, it's what I say. Yep. No, explain. And my mom like, you be telling your daughter so much. I'm like, because she need to know. She need to know. So I'm going to tell you why. You better get a whooping. You better get a pop out. And she like, why? What did I do? I'm saying, because let me tell you why. Tell me what you, let me tell you what you did and why you got that reaction. Then she sit down like, yeah, that was crazy. Then I should have did that at school, right?
But see, that's early age of letting her recognize what she did and accepting accountability for what she did. So I like the fact when you did that, you told her, and then she said, dang. So she had the opportunity to sit there and reflect on that. That's what needed to happen to us at younger ages with our parents and things of that nature.
They didn't know how.
They didn't know how, and then their mothers didn't know how, and so on and so on.
But still, they still coming off of, we was segregated. Yeah. We didn't have nothing, so they still coming off like, we ain't going back, we got to keep it. So they was still, it had the mentality of how they had us. Yep. So how could they change? So it's kind of like, and it's all like, I be saying, I'm about to pop you, but I don't pop that girl. I just be like, I want to sometimes. I promise you, because that's what I'm used to. Yeah. But she didn't need it. See, me getting whoopings, and I'm not knocking whoopings. Whatever you decide to do with your parenting is how you want to do it. It made me hard. Yeah. So me being so hard, it was hard for me to express my feelings. So when people hurt me, I ain't cry.
You was on defense mode.
I was like, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm trying to say? But the whole time, I'm so broken. And it's all like, it's okay. They don't even know that. I don't show it. I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say?
And you think about how you saying about how whoopings and stuff like that could make you aggressive in doing the things it caused you to do. And just imagine with our men and how the aggressiveness with them being raised to not talk and not be able to kind of speak for themselves, not to be vulnerable. Imagine how they feel. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? When
you got to be, it's like, why he can't be on the debate team? If he like dance, he like dance. Yeah. If he, so what? So what? Learn how to accept him for him, because guess what? That is him. It's not, oh, you supposed to be this way because you a man. You supposed to be strong. Why not? Why not? That's why I'm on like, I'm a big cheerleader on giving back to our males. I love them. I love y'all. So if y'all watching this, I love y'all. But I just need y'all to start loving y'all, because there's some good women out here. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, I tell people all the time, people like, oh, Dshawnda, here you go. I said, I build a bear, but not to a certain degree. Now the bear got to be already a bear. Okay, I'm just adding on some clothes. Okay, I can't.
And a couple little buttons.
Yeah, some buttons. I might give your eyes and your nose back. But the foundation part, you got to have your head and your whole body. I can't do no more. I did that, and I did it with the wrong person. And I'm not saying it's scoring me, but it did something to me. So my thing is, and then let me tell you something that hit a nose. And I thank you, God, for what you just said to me just now. God don't like you putting too much energy in something because he's selfish. So I was putting it into something I never had, and that was my man. And that's why God gave it to me. Because I wasn't giving it to him. So right now, he making me, did you say good morning to me this morning? How long did you talk to me today? You was on IG, Instagram for 2 hours, but you gave me 30 minutes. But then you want a husband, okay? Because he gonna distract you again. So what he's showing me, and it's for anybody, is to make time for your purpose in life, and that's to glorify him. If you don't have him in your life, you don't know what your purpose is. And I'm not saying I'm supposed to be on the pulpit, you supposed to be on the pulpit, and everybody, your religion is this religion, your this is that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to have a balance, and you have to understand what is your purpose here.
Yep.
And he was saying that I don't like when you get a man. I don't like how you act. And I said, what I do, girl? I thank you for waking me up this morning. I'm tired. I do this. I don't like when you get a man.
Because you forget about me.
And you, all this I gave you and all that your mother installed in you, why you ain't pouring that in him? You just tooting your butt up. You just cooking his meal. How are you really feeding him so y'all can be where I want y'all to be? I wasn't.
And so, and think about you thinking that, but you're like, is he really, do he want it bad enough as well? Because even if you doing it on your end, which is a lot of times the woman is working really, really hard to feel like she can change this man, and he kind of like, like what I was talking about in the last episode, counseling. You know what I'm saying? With men that do have issues with not healing from trauma and things of that nature, how can you introduce that, you know what I'm saying, to them so that they can be on that same page so you can balance?
Conversations and not jumping
Well, if he
in
don't
that.
like talking.
But I'm saying, then he ain't gonna work with me, because you gotta know what you want. Like, I'm not saying he gotta be a talker like da 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 all the time, like, because I talk, I express myself very well, but he gotta be able to talk to me. Like, how are we gonna unwind with each other? Like, you gotta be able to talk to me. And with finding your mate, that's why I said sex is beautiful, but it's beautiful when it's done correctly.
Yeah, right.
So when you take your time and really get to know the person, it's gonna be wonderful. Sex is gonna be great.
Yeah,
It's gonna be explosive. You can do it because everybody know how to do it. You do the same little trick. You do the boom, boom, boom. Put your leg up, you ride them. You do this, hit it from the back. Boom, boom, boom. You go downtown. You go downtown. Okay, we got that. But it ain't nothing. But when you love somebody, oh my goodness, it's amazing. Even if you know something to say, you knocked out. You done came in 5 minutes. It's like you love this man. You like, it's okay, baby. But if you didn't love him, you're like, dang, did he really just do that?
Now, by the way, this is my unfiltered friend, Dshawnda Lewis.
I just talk about stuff that people don't want to talk about. Women be acting like, oh, they stuff don't stink too. They stuff stink too. And I'm here to tell you, stop beating up on them so much and hold yourself accountable. And guess what? He's gonna come when he's supposed to come. Stop beating them down. They already got the world on their back, and you coming at them wrong. And I'm not saying that you take everything, because that's not for you. Because if he's not for you, then you don't supposed to be talking to him anyway. So stop coming. Don't come to comments. I know y'all gonna give it to me, but it's okay. All I'm just saying is you welcome to your opinion. All I'm just saying from my experience is, guess what? Love yourself. Have a relationship with God. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to break curses. And guess
all the
what?
cycles need to be broke.
Guess what? And it's gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. And love doesn't have to be and you feel complete because you have a child or you married. I got love now that I didn't even know was around me. You know what I'm trying to say? I've been more loved than ever. And it wasn't from a man.
Yourself.
Yeah, and it wasn't from a man. But guess what? I'm ready for one. I'm not going to push him away. But what I'm trying to say is, love is not the way you want to be loved, it's how you want to be loved. So in a way, what I'm saying is, love is always there. Just because you're not getting it from where you want to get it from, don't mean you've never been loved.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right about
Key
that.
point, right? Because people are like, I ain't never been loved, I ain't this and that, da, da, da.
Yeah.
But you were. You just didn't want that love.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah,
you can't tell God what to do.
Yeah. My question for Q, coming from the man point of view, as far as the importance of talking and communication. So we went back to how the women can do their part, as in working as diligently as they can to have their man communicate. Say, for instance, you a man that have childhood trauma issues and things of that nature, and you really don't want to talk. You kind of stuck in that silent treatment mode. Like my last marriage, I got the silent treatment a lot. I didn't even understand that was emotional abuse. he didn't even understand that either. You get what I'm saying? And him not understanding that, because as a kid, you know, you don't get an opportunity to talk. You get shut down a lot. You don't get a chance to express yourself. So when that time come for him to talk to me, and I had issues or whatever the case may be, it was I'm not talking to you. But why wouldn't you talk to me? Now, one conversation that I had this morning was, the reason why men feel like they don't want to talk sometime to women is because they feel judged. Argument come up. She judging you on what you told her. A vulnerable situation that he told her prior to, maybe when they was dating, or something that she knows about his childhood or something that he's dealing with, she bring it up. Ladies, stop.
I think that's unfortunately that's something that we both do. Men and women do that. It's not just a woman trait.
It's both.
It's dudes that do it too. I guess this is another awkward question for me, because like I don't have a communication issue, and this is the crazy thing, is that I found out that the majority of the women who say that dudes don't know how to communicate, because they've dealt with those dudes this whole time, then I found out that they don't know how to communicate either.
Right.
So the time you sitting here telling me that dudes don't know how to communicate, then you meet a communicator.
Yeah.
Then I found out like you don't know what you're doing.
You're the one that don't know how to talk.
Right, it's saying that's probably why you couldn't get this dude to talk.
They don't know how to communicate. It's kind of like my daughter, because she's autistic. She doesn't verbalize a lot of things, but she do talk, right? So I didn't say she couldn't talk. She just don't verbalize how we talk.
Gotcha.
So it's a way that you can do it. So I say, how was school today? Good, bad, happy, or sad? She answers it.
Yeah.
So she taught me how to communicate with her.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And sometimes we have to do that as well. That's why that listening to understand, like your man or your woman, listen to understand. I think that part is what that has to stick, because I think that'll help a lot better if we can understand it. Just like you saying, you understand what she's trying to tell you. She may not tell you how she needs to tell you, but you know, men do have a different way of communicating from us, because we are a lot more emotional than what they are. So that's the hard part, and that's that barrier also in between that's causing, you know, divorces and all kind of stuff, because the communication part, nobody want to talk anymore.
And I know this not a real thing. Like, cause I got homies like in my circle who like it'd be a joke, like when you know, back when everybody else was single, like all these dudes married now. So I'm not gonna put them on here like this, but you know, back when we was all single at the same time, we would be placed, and they would often crack jokes about how like I'm always the one they send to talk to people, because like I'm the one who know how to talk to women. Like, so. Not that they don't know how to talk to women, but I can, like, I mean, we can get into a deep conversation. I don't know you, but that's because I know how to communicate. I mean, a lot of times women have a lot to say, but nobody's listening to them because they got their homegirl, but she really just listening for you to pause so she can jump in and tell you what's going on in her life. You know what I'm saying? So then you finally meet somebody who like, oh, damn, he just listening. So now they start conversing. And so now we having a whole conversation. And my dudes joke with me about that, but they joke with me about that because they can't do it. And they are the 90%. They the dudes that y'all got to deal with. Yeah. So it's bold. So I try to tell them like, oh, this is what you got to do. I had to do my nephew like that because he's married now. My nephew's 37. And he have conversations with his wife, and sometimes it go left, and he called me. Like, dog, so then I have to tell him, like, bro, like, listen to what you saying, dog. Like, I have to talk him out of arguments that make no sense. Like, so you mad about that? Like, I have to make fun of him in order for him to see where I'm coming from. Yeah. Like, and then, but you looking at him like, he 37, he 37, 36, one of the two. I think it might be 36. But it's like, he got a whole family. And we're still having these conversations now. So imagine he was 20.
Yeah, oh boy.
Dog, he didn't kill some relationship. Like, you know, like seriously though, he didn't kill the relationship. Yeah. And like they go through life just like that. And to be honest, my old man, like I love my old man, but my old man don't know how to communicate. Like I didn't become sociable with my old man until I became an adult. Cause when we was kids, it just wasn't no interaction for real. And I lived with my daddy. Like I had two parents in the household. And this is so like later on I noticed just like the relationship with him and my mama, it wasn't no communication. He didn't know what he was doing. Like and she was just kind of like, God rest her soul, she was kind of just letting him step all over. So like it's amazing that I even came out with good sense.
Yeah, you know, I mean, but you broke the cycle though.
Cause I could be my daddy's son. Like I know how to do that. And I actually like my last relationship, like we extra cool now. But it's like, when we would get into arguments, I used to have to refrain her because I would tell her, like, look, I know how to do this verbally. This not what you want to do. Like, I don't have to put my hands on you. I can break your whole soul down with this. I can.
Yes.
So I'm telling her, like, don't push me because I know how. But a lot of people don't have that restraint. They just go to it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's in there. Like, I have relapses when I do stuff that I recognize my old man used to do to my mom, and I have to catch myself.
Yeah.
Most dudes don't catch themselves. They just go full mode.
Yeah.
And that's that 90%. I'm
Well,
sorry,
I done
ladies.
it as a woman. I done it. My mouth got me in trouble. Like, no, for real. Like, seriously, like, I just say anything. And I'm not even just talking about with a man, in a friendship. And I really hurt some people's feelings. And then they had to pull me to the side and check me. And I'm like, dang, I said that, but you know, I love you. It's not like that, but you don't know. Because I'm so unfiltered, but now I just like, I just don't say nothing. And it be like, I know you got something to say. I'm like, no, I want to let you talk. And they be like, I don't like this new Dshawnda. I'm like, oh my goodness. you want the one to be wrong? It's like, no, let me be quiet. And if you want me to give you an opinion, that's what I do now. And I do that because my kids taught me that. If you really want my opinion, then I ask, like, are you ready for me to respond or you want me to listen? I ask you that first.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
So
That's a good one.
So it's challenging for me.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because okay, but
know.
it also made me be in practice. When I was working, I always carried myself very professional. So I couldn't tell the people when they come in there talking to me any kind of way, you better get out my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I used to be smiling like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Do you need a moment?
Gotta hit 'em
So
with that.
if I can do that at work,
You can do
why
that at
can I
home.
do that at home?
Yeah.
And why can I do that with my friendships? So it takes for you to be shook up a little bit and you hurt people's feelings that you really love. And you kind of push back and be like, you know
humble down.
what?
Yep.
Let me be quiet. And a good friend taught me that because, you know, I hurt her feelings and I didn't know I was hurting her feelings, but she dealt with it because she loved me and we loved each other. But I know for years I say something to her and I was hurting her feelings. So, but not only she didn't communicate that, it just came out because I pulled it out of her. But guess what? We had to grow together with that. And I appreciate that because guess what? She taught me how to let's relax. Let's talk.
I just wanted to take a piece of that conversation back to a conversation that came from the last episode, and that was just about being on your journey. How you just mentioned a moment ago how people like, I don't like the new you, right? And y'all was talking about how a lot of times on your journey you trying to be this new person, but people keep bringing up how you used to be. Like, is that challenging? I guess specifically, is that challenging for you? Because at this point, I mean, you celebrate the authenticity of being unfiltered. So like now you kind of take a step back and let it breathe a little bit. Like, is it challenging to keep going on that road when you constantly got friends saying, hey, this ain't just the new you? I don't like that.
Right. It depends on the situation. Now, me verbally abusing you, I fall back a lot. Now, only time I really give it to you when I'm like, that's enough now, because I'm flesh is flesh, okay? I put God in it, but when you push it, you'll push it, okay? But no, because guess what? These last few years, I don't care. I don't care what nobody feeling me, because if I listen to everybody, I would have never made it out of Detroit. I would have never got my 2 degrees. I would have never I want to be who I am now because I always listen to everybody. I would have been that girl that was in the streets. That was doing whatever and dealing with older men I would have been that same girl, but I'm not. So regardless of whatever you see me, I don't care what you see me, because I look at myself. Remember I told you before, I look myself in the mirror like, what's up, girl? What you into today? I gotta talk to her because I do have moments. A couple weeks ago, she checked me. I was like, man, I ain't got time for Detroit. I'm about to go back because if you don't want me, you don't gotta take me. You know what I'm trying to say?
I had to fall all off of her, but hey,
that's not what you came out here for. We came out here for your daughter. That was the purpose. But then me and you connected, and I love this woman right here because we haven't seen each other. Today was the first day we seen each other since we was 16, and it's like the love is still there, the respect's still there. This is my girl, and when we did talk to and passing throughout the years, it was so much love and respect, and that shows me that guess what? I had friends. I was looking for other friends because I was on my journey. But guess what? When you really sit down and be quiet,
that's
what's
when you
supposed to
find out.
happen, it comes back to you anyway. And look, it came back.
Everybody.
You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like you got to get a point in your life that you don't care what nobody think of you. You value some things. If the people that's around you value the things that they say, but you got to worry about what Dshawnda want, what did Candace
good
want.
for you.
Yeah, what is good for you. Now that's something right there. So I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, I might say, did they just say that to me? And I be like, in my head, like they got me effed up. That's what I really be feeling. But then I put on the corporate Dshawnda, the Dshawnda Lewis, like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Yeah. And I chuck it. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? I might vent it like, oh man, they got me effed up. But then I put myself back down. I was like, man, why you let somebody take you out your character that you worked so hard with and God gave you this peace? You free. They ain't free. So why you gonna go back to that? You flying. They on the ground. I don't know what to tell you, baby. So whatever you see about Shonda Boo, and she got on these fishnet stockings, so what? That's the old Shonda Boo, but guess what? I'm wearing it with class. I'm doing it different. So it's not what you see, it's who I am. So I don't care what nobody think of me no more.
Okay. But the different, you see how when every pretty much female that I have talked to that's my friend in my circles, we have to go through, I ain't gonna say we have to, but we all went through the stage of dealing with different men and having friends with benefit situation, having all these situationships, some of them one night stands, whatever the case you want to call it. Right. Everybody have their whole stage is what I call it. Okay. So most of the time it's after,
Daddy, sorry.
I know, and mom,
I know, right, because my daddy about to be mad at me, but sorry, Daddy, it happens.
After certain relationships and situations, instead of you going to go heal, like me when I got married the first time, my son's father, after that, I just went on a rampage. You feel me? And half of my family, my mom, this is going to be their first time hearing that. I went through that stage. You feel me? And you don't even know that I went through that stage, but I did. I was still out there searching. I was still searching for that love that I was still trying to get from that marriage and from my father. So me trying to have that, I was still searching. I'm like, oh, somebody going to love me. But that makes you promiscuous in so many points. You get what I'm saying? Because you just lost. And that lost feeling, oh my God, that dark space. I don't know if you remember that dark space. That dark, it's so dark where you feel like you can't come up out of there. You're like, how am I going to get up out of here? And then that's when that second marriage comes. And it's like, all right, here comes the third one. I never came up for air. You feel me? So that part is what I would like for women to try to avoid, that part, because it just do so much damage. I think that gave me more emotional and more trauma trying to go out there and seek it so much. You know what I'm saying? And those different men, different spirits. You get what I'm saying? Just everywhere.
Because it makes it bad when you actually sleep it around. You bringing on more baggage because you entwine with them. And like you said, you hit a point that I like that you're being honest about is. Sometimes I was like, oh, I took a 4-year break when I was domestic violence, right? And then I met my kid's father. I thought I had all my stuff together, but that whole time I was doing what Megan said. She gets you pumped up. You out here wilding out. I'm like, oh, this is my girl. But it's not good because my thing is you're sleeping around with him. You bringing on his pain and then that pain and then you still got your pain. And I was suppressing myself, my feelings. And it's crazy. And I'm just now saying this. You know how when you stressed, you might go running or you might meditate or you might do something. I went to sex. Yep. So when I was mad or something, my job was overwhelming me. I'm all like, hey, what y'all doing?
Where you at?
Oh, it's like, how you been? And that was so bad. Yeah. So when I didn't have that, how was I dealing with my feelings? And then I was depressed.
Yeah. Oh, you go through
when
depression.
I tell
that
you,
depression stage
it's rough. But guess what? The key thing is your circle. Yeah. No matter what. I don't care you ain't answer your phone. I love you. You gonna hear the message anyway because you gotta check your messages. Yeah. I don't just pop up out of the blue and just do something for you or just because your circle is kind of like you. Yeah, for sure. So you are what you attract. I always say that. We can't run to no man no more. Nope. We can't run from my I past from my parents because it's some stuff from my past because you know you date who you know who you was, but you know it is what it is. We can't run.
No.
We have no choice, men or women. Just deal with it.
Yeah,
It's
gotta face
okay.
it.
You supposed to cry. You supposed to let it out, because just like how you climb up the ladder and work hard, why you can't do that in your personal life?
Yeah.
So if your personal life messed up, eventually your work life gonna be messed up. Eventually, it's gonna, both of them is the same thing. So the whole key thing is what we learn from each other is, and we have learned is stop putting things in front of the real issue.
Yeah. Deal with it right there and then.
It hurts, but it's supposed to hurt, because it was easy to do, but it hurts.
Oh yeah, it hurt.
When I tell you, when I had those kids, the depression, postpartum, and let me tell you this, and I know we could talk for days, hours, but women, it's okay. Postpartum is real, and it's not just it's a white thing. It is not. I had postpartum. I was so lost for years. So when I tell you, it's people like, oh, you just going through you whatever. No,
it's deeper.
It was so deep. I love my kids, but I was so lost. I wouldn't comb my hair. I was just living. I was so depressed, and I would just cry all night. It was so depressing, and I kept it all because people said that was a white people thing. It's not. So the key thing about depression is it is okay to verbalize it. You're not alone. You just never know how many people went through it.
Yeah.
So it's so many areas. It's got to be dark because it's birthing something out of you.
Yeah. All those moments and all the trauma, everything that you went through. I had a conversation with my little baby on the phone yesterday too as well. I was telling her all of the stuff that you're going through is you having a higher calling anyway. So... You know, ain't no telling what it is that the universe wants you to do, but you had to go through those situations. Just like me, I had to go through those 3 marriages. I had to go through cutting off a lot of my family members, cutting off friends, cutting my circle down, isolating myself. You got to isolate to elevate. I had to do a lot of hibernating and sitting down thinking and reflecting. Nah, this person, their intention's not good for me. Nah, you got to do that. And I do that every month, though. Every month, I sit down and I just say, sit around, look at my circle, see who around me, see who elevating, who can I cultivate as my team, who gonna move with me, and who's still gonna sit, because it's gonna take me harder, lift you up with me, than for me just let you go. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that, but it's necessary and it has to be done. And I don't have a problem with it anymore. At first, I used to be, but that's my, no.
Yeah. And look where you at. Look at this platform. It's wonderful. It's healing. It's being raw. It's showing your truth and not being afraid of what people think of you. Just say what it is, because so many people are so afraid of being who they really are because they so busy being judged. Like when people first start being natural, they cut off all their hair. They like, oh man, but men don't like weave. So we of y'all mind. What do you want? You want the weave or you want the natural look? So which one do you want? So it's like nobody is never gonna be happy. It's about what makes you happy. And now they're like, oh, it's kind of cute now. So go ahead. Go ahead. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes. We don't say that when y'all going bald. We just be like, okay, boo, you looking good. You know what I'm trying to say? You keep it moving. So what I'm saying to you is just knowing what you want and who you are and just having boundaries. And I think you're amazing. I think this is awesome. You brought me out. Come on. Yeah. And your circle is everything. And I value our friendship. And I thank you.
I appreciate you too. I love you, girl.
I love you too.
That's what's up. Q, you have anything to say for our last words? Y'all know she's going to be in here a couple of more times. So.
Oh, I'm here for it. Come on, Detroit. Let's get it. Let's talk. Bring some men on here so we can spice it up so we can have some real arguments, okay? Because I know they're like, who is that girl? Let's get it.
No, actually, I don't have anything. I think we covered everything that I thought was going to happen today, so I think it went pretty well. I know, obviously, the next time that we talk, we'll probably dive a little deeper into the whole domestic violence thing, because it's multifaceted. You know what I'm saying? Just like how I asked the question about how us on the outside should be actually handling the situation to make it easier for the people who are actually dealing with it to get out. So that's one thing to it, and then also too just like there's, this happens in reverse as well. There are some abusive women.
Getting beat on.
Exactly. And oftentimes it may be more, mental than it is physical, but like it's still abuse. So I mean, that's something that has to be talked about too. So yeah, I think very interesting conversation today, and obviously the chemistry hasn't fallen off in 20 years. So.
Yeah, right. It can't go nowhere. Yes.
I'm glad to see y'all together. I mentioned this before when Colleen was on here. It's just like I don't see this often because I meet so many women who, like, at least they say they don't have friends. Yeah. And that's unfortunate. Like, dudes be having friends. Like,
it'd be a group of y'all. It'd be 20 and 30 of them.
Right. They be around since they was like 2. I'm like, dang, y'all still your friend.
Exactly. So to see this is beautiful, and I really celebrate this. And I think that I think for a long time, especially at least until I was an adult, I took that for granted. I took women's friendships for granted because I didn't realize how many of y'all don't have genuine friendships.
Yeah.
And that's bold.
We don't.
That's bold. So yeah, great show. Yeah. Great show.
Thank you so much. What I want to do, last words, I want her to tell you where you can find her. So Instagram, both. I don't know if you want to use both your Instagrams.
Lord, both. I don't know how to use it. Now, this new generation bringing me out. I be like, you want my car? You want a flyer? I don't know. So, it is Classy You Blazers and Tempeh Noche. And I want to let you know what Tempeh Noche is know thyself.
Okay.
So, you're going to be, when you come see me, you're going to get to know yourself.
Okay. All right, y'all hear that? And y'all also get some little body contouring. I'm going to do one.
Yes.
Q, we probably going to have you record it.
Let's
okay?
do it.
She'll do one so they can see how.
Don't be banging down my door like, oh my goodness. Okay, the Kardashians did it. They did. And you know what I'm trying to say? But we can bring it here too. Because you don't have to cut up your body. You know, I mean, sometimes you have to. It depends on the situation, But let's do it the natural way first. Okay. And if it don't work, then you can go for what you know.
Okay, that's what's up. And Q as he take our pictures.
I know, right?
All right, you guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. I will see you for episode 5. I'll have Andrea next week. Oh my God, this girl is amazing. Clothes. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna make sure I pull her up. Oh yeah, man.
Oh,
she got her own.
Let me go to that. I've been waiting to break in Detroit. Come on, I had to spicy this up today.
She got her own clothing line. I'm gonna show you her page in a minute.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
I'm here for you. I support.
I'll post the flyers tomorrow for her for that episode. It's pretty much her speaking on clothes, about trying to her business, picking up business on her clothes and her marriage and her kids and things of that nature. Just balancing all of that off. So. That's she got some dope ass clothes though.
I'm ready for it. Tell her what's up. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. No, I'm for real. I like to support. So let's go for it. Because I'm supporting my brother. This is his brand.
Exotic Ball.
Yes, Exotic Ball.
Well,
I put on a blazer. Hey, it's
tell them where they can find his page.
Where's his page? What is his page? Lord have mercy. You put me on the spot. D'Angelo, don't be mad at me. All I know his name is Don. Okay? Okay,
I
D'Angelo.
get it. I get it later.
You didn't put on there, but I'm supporting my brother. Why not? You got to keep it in the family. So I said, I'm going to be on here. Let me put my brother's stuff on, put on the blazer. You can do whatever you want. Jeans, you know what I'm saying? You can put leggings yourself, but I put on these little fast things, but my daddy gonna get me, but we'll try again later.
All right, well, we will see y'all next week. Bye. Love y'all. Y'all know where to follow me at, though.
All right.
Love y'all. Deuces.